dirty, fascistic.
We're getting rid of all the mRNA vaccines. It proves all the scientists say that it is not any good, and that we need to move on to traditional vaccines.
It's like my wife, dude. It's like anytime
So you got to think on the positive side. Glass half full, you know? Let the fucker die. She got a mouthful of fucking Nancy Pelosi's giant fake tits, okay? JD Vance has the charisma of a semen-soaked pillow. Before we get to the video, please like, comment, subscribe, share it to that uncle who's a communist. And if he isn't, he will be.
Don't forget to follow us on Patreon at patreon.com/revolutionaryrhetoric. And Revolutionary Rhetoric is an affiliate of the Anti-Capitalist Podcast Network.
All right, let's get to the video. Oh, well, welcome back to another...
It's been a while.
Episode. It's been a while.
It's been a while. I don't know. I don't really remember what he sounded like in that song. I just know that those are the lyrics.
I walked in here and I was like, hey, man, it's been a while. It's like, it's been a while.
It's like I can't hear somebody say, it's been a while without saying that.
Yeah.
I can't hear somebody saying, it's been, without me going, it's been 1 week. Is it a Bare Naked Lady song? No? Okay. There's just certain like triggers in my brain that's like, my brain rot has caused me just... I have to respond with those things.
I know a lot more that happens, you know, that triggers the same exact thought. I just can't think of it on the top of my head.
If anybody says, I feel like, I go, I feel like a woman. No, that's Shania Twain. I feel like a man. I feel like a woman.
Oh my God.
These are like all 90s songs. Well, Stained was probably like early 2000s.
I'm trying to think of like the other ones. I know there's so many of them.
Yeah, it's just like these weird brain triggers.
Yeah, it's got to come up on the spot. Then I can like it'll trigger me. But anyways, yeah. Sorry guys, I'm triggered. It's been a while.
Snowflake, triggered snowflake.
Sorry guys, it's been a while. It's been a while. Here we go again.
It's like my wife, dude. It's like anytime anyone says my wife, you gotta respond. Anytime anyone says it's been a while, you gotta go, it's been a while. I mean, people my age, maybe kids won't because they won't know what I'm talking about.
I knew what you were talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been quite a while. We've been very busy, work, bunch of shit.
School,
you know the fucking gist. But
I had to declare my like research thesis for my grad school.
Yeah, dude.
And so I did it. It doesn't matter. It's boring. It's a long, boring subject, but I have like data. I have to like. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, I bet.
It's
so
just been
going on,
a
man.
grind. So,
but hopefully his masters will be.
It's finished. This is my last semester. This is it.
Yeah, I
finished this December.
After that, hopefully everything calms down a little bit more. You got a little bit more time. We'll fit it into the schedule. But yes, one thing I wanted to talk about before we start this all, the patches that many of you wanted and we're going to send to you, because we've been so busy. We've been trying to basically get a PO box, so we're not sending it from our address. I'm sure many of you would understand that. You know, just in case, because we don't want everything tracked back to us.
Sure.
So we are in the process of setting up a PO box.
Yep.
And then once we get that PO box, we will send these to you. They're coming. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Free of charge. Don't worry about it. And we'll let you know when they're on their way. We'll email back.
I think I figured out that I can do that. Like we can finish it this week.
Cool.
So they should all be sent the week of.
Next week we will have them sent.
This is. The first week of September.
So probably within 2 weeks you'll get yours. No promises. Never know what the hell happens in this dirty fascistic regime that we live in.
Yeah, the PO of the USPS might be defunded by then. Who knows?
Yeah, God knows. Everything is getting defunded, and that's what it seems like. So, oh God, it's so gross looking at like the news every day and then being like, this is now being defunded. Cancer research has been defunded. This thing for children has been defunded. mRNA research has been defunded. You see fucking what's his fucking face, Kennedy? Be like,
we're getting rid of all the mRNA vaccines. It proves all the scientists say that it is not any good, and that we need to move on to traditional vaccines.
I haven't seen that, but that's not surprising. That's pretty good RFK impression.
Thank you. But no, the man literally is like, mRNA vaccines are only specifically for this, and vaccines are constantly mutating. I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up. You know nothing about fucking vaccines.
Literal anti-vaxxer is our Secretary of Health.
Yes, and so now we're going back to traditional. Shut the fuck up. Yeah. You know how much research has been put into mRNA vaccines, and we're just gonna blatantly just cut it off. And then also, children's cancer research has been defunded. So many things, and you'll see more things are gonna get defunded. This is gonna be crazy, man. Like, as much you want to start a fascistic regime, okay, step one, don't cut everything for everything, right? Because if you do that, you're just going to piss everybody off. And a fascistic regime, like one that the one who shall not be named he did a lot of things to help the Aryan, quote unquote, Aryan people have a better life. Right. And so these people were supporting him because they're having a better life while shutting everybody down and basically putting everybody else in the dirt. You can't. So the majority of people that support Trump, right, are people that are usually low wage, people that are living on the poverty line in these red states and everything. So if you're cutting off all of these benefits, cuts to Medicare, cuts to Medicaid, all of your supporters live off of that. Yeah. And so if you lose popularity, you can't do a fascistic regime with 20% of the popularity vote. That's not going to happen. The only way Hitler was able to do it, the one who was not named, should not be named. He basically did it by getting everybody in the country to love him. So this is not going to last very long if you think this is how you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Right. And there's multiple things going on. Like, he's anti-war, but like now there's like warships on the Venezuelan border, and the Caribbean Sea. We've actually just hit the record number of bombings in Yemen, and it's only fucking September, as of today. And so Yemen, but as Somalia.
It's first year. What is it? The 8th month of the first year of the second term. So we're still in the first, like, it feels like it was so long ago that Trump took office. It was literally just a few months ago. It was this year.
Yeah, dude. He's like, fucking speedrun this bitch.
Yeah, speedrunning to the end of the world.
But, I would be speedrunning if I was fucking dying too.
Which,
you know what I mean?
That's the news of the weekend. If you're listening to this shortly after it comes out, there's been all these rumors in circulation that Trump is dead. That was like the thing. It's like a Weekend at Bernie situation where, like, because nobody's seen him all weekend on like a pretty... It's Labor Day weekend, right? So we're filming this on Monday, September 1st, which is Labor Day. We both have the day off. Shout out to Labor. And everyone's like, well, why hasn't Trump been seen?
Well, this dude can't go without 2-3 days without being on camera and saying something egregious. And
that was the shady part, was that there was all these health rumors, and then so in response to that, he posted a photo, but the photo he posted was a week-old photo of him golfing last weekend, and everyone's like, that's way more sus. Like, if like his account posts a photo of him from last weekend,
or something like that. It might even been before,
or what, but like obviously an existing photo of him golfing with that football person or whatever.
Yeah, because if he wasn't golfing, right, they'd probably not just post a photo of him that day. But really, there was just a video of him arriving at the golf field and nothing else. And the entire time, dude was limping. I mean, his right leg, he was like dragging that shit. Like,
I mean, I don't think he's dead, but I think he's not very photogenic right now, because those photos of his hands and stuff. You had more information on that. Do you want to kind of explain
so
what's going on
from
there? Like
all the information like that I gathered, there's a lot of things going on, right? So apparently this has been going on for a while. As we all know, with the whole hand blemish thing. Also, if you have state-of-the-art everything, you're the United States government, and you couldn't find the same skin tone, well, not even the skin, but the same tanning tone that this motherfucker uses. You couldn't find the same tanning tone and made it like less obvious, like they made it as obvious as hell. He's orange. They're like, let's put gold on his hand, right? And all these images, you'll notice that they come out about the 24th, 25th of every single month. That's when it actually happens. So they're saying, okay, he's getting monthly doses of some sort of IV infusion. And like, okay, so we look at like his most recent meds that was put out by the White House. And there was 2 other things on there that was not of previous. I can't remember them. But one thing that really stuck out to me was the daily aspirin. And if you know anything about modern medicine, most doctors will not prescribe you daily aspirin anymore for heart health. That's kind of outdated. But one thing that daily aspirin does is it's a blood thinner, right? So if you are on blood thinners, usually that's for clotting purposes. If it's for clotting purposes, it explains why he is having these massive bruises every time he gets an IV, because his blood has a hard time, his veins have a hard time clotting. So this is basically a large bruise, because older people will bruise more because they have weaker veins. The clotting is not as sufficient as before. And so alongside of that, he's having a blood thinner taken every single day. It's saying a lot, because usually with a blood thinner, you're trying to make sure you do not have any clots, right? Because if your blood is too thick, you have a higher chance of some sort of cardiac arrest, some cardiovascular complications. And so a lot of professionals are theorizing that he is getting monthly IV infusions to actually get rid of clots throughout his veins, because here's the kicker. Dude's been having mini strokes for a while now. And one thing people are missing is that he might not be dead, but he might have had a bigger stroke recently. And that is why he is not in public eye view anymore, right? Yeah. Because when you have a little bit of larger stroke, certain things happen, like you become one side becomes a little looser than the other. Your one side of the face is drooping a little bit more. That's fairly common. And so that's honestly my theory. Yeah. From the evidence I can take, that he had a larger stroke recently. And because he's been talking about, I want to be a better person. I don't know if I'm getting into heaven. I don't know if you've seen those interviews.
His tone, the content of his recent ramblings are more existential and philosophical.
Exactly.
Maybe
so
he's worried about dying soon.
So he's worried about dying soon. He's not in public eye anymore. He's got these blemishes from getting supposed IV infusions.
Yeah, because he was diagnosed with what was it called? Something intravenous deficiency.
Yeah, intravenous deficiency. Some sort of deficiency, basically, where your veins are not working.
Chronic venous insufficiency.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let me give you a couple quotes about this whole fiasco. Also, we should say that all of this is unconfirmed and speculation, and we're just doing our best guess based on the research that you've done and putting together different sources.
Yes, I'm getting my information from people that are credited doctors, cardiovascular doctors,
and we are in no way medical professionals.
No, these are just information from cardiovascular doctors theorizing based upon their experience of what could be going on.
Yeah. So here's some quotes from Trump's cabinet, which I think is just so funny. The White House press secretary blames this on how diplomatic he has to be shaking people's hands, and she has said, "quote hold on, this is the quote. Sorry, let me start over. White House press secretary, I'm reading from an article from The Independent. White House press secretary Carolyn Leavitt has previously attempted to brush aside the welts on his hand as a consequence of too much diplomatic handshaking and aspirin consumption, noting that Trump, quote, meets more Americans and shakes their hands on a daily basis than any other president in history, end quote. So she's saying that he shakes more hands than anybody, which is a very Trumpian thing to do. Yes. I shake more hands than anybody.
I've touched more people than anybody you've ever met.
Weird thing to be proud of. And here's his former physician, who is now a Republican representative, Ronnie Jackson. He insisted, I think this was on Twitter, that Trump is, quote, the healthiest president this nation has ever seen, end quote, which is just that one's laughable, because this dude is obese. He's obviously.
Listen, you cannot be 80 years old and about 300 pounds. I don't care what anybody says. That man is about 300 pounds. When you're 6'3" or whatever the fuck he is.
And that big, yeah. Because I'm 6'2", and I'm not. I don't look too big, but I am kind of overweight. Oh yeah. I'm 210. And I'm only 6'2".
I am 5'9", and I am 260.
Yeah,
right. I'm 5'9", I'm 260.
And Trump is tall.
I got some big legs and 6 something. This motherfucker is larger than me, and he's half a foot taller than me.
Yeah,
he's
over
definitely 300 pounds.
He's 280 easily. At least. Yeah.
There are how many 80-year-olds that are 300 pounds and walking around
and still
normally?
Doing.
No,
that's still healthy, right?
No, that's not healthy. And then we're gonna miss Obama, that he was in his late 40s when he took office.
Yeah,
he was playing basketball. When have you seen Trump run?
He's golfed. He walks on the golf course, sort of.
He doesn't walk. He hits a ball and somebody picks him up and puts him in a golf cart, bro.
Yeah, watching him walk to and from Air Force One back to the door.
Yeah,
or what's it called, Marine One, the helicopter. Yeah. And it's it's always so awkward and I mean, it's just he's a deeply unhealthy person.
Absolutely.
So it's a miracle, or it's surprising that he hasn't had any serious health effect that we know about.
Not to mention his fucking diet too.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, that's my point. It's it's one thing to be 80. Well, he's 79, I guess, to be fair. It's one thing to be pushing 80 and like obese, but also then to like only eat like high sodium and like junk food and sugar and sodas and shit.
Apparently
McDonald's and Coke or Diet Cokes. Yeah,
he pounds like a 6-pack of or 12-pack of Diet Coke a day.
Yeah, that's all he's just sitting there, and like it doesn't matter if it's Diet Coke like that is healthy. Like that's still hella sugar and like just.
Well, Diet Coke doesn't have sugar.
It doesn't have no sugar. It has high fructose corn syrup.
No, it doesn't have any. That's why it's diet. That's why it has 0 calories. It has aspartame, which turned to aspartic acid or something like. Anyways,
it's like the stevia, whatever. It's like that artificial sweetener.
Yeah, it's artificial sweetener, but that's not the problem. It's like when you're drinking that many things, because you have to remember how much caffeine is in each one. If he is pounding a 12-pack a day, how much diet? Could you look that up real quick?
Yeah.
How much caffeine in a Diet Coke, in a 12-ounce Diet Coke? Okay, theoretically, let's say it's 40 milligrams. That means 10.
It's 46 milligrams.
46 milligrams. That means if he's pounding a 12-pack, theoretically, he's pounding over 500 milligrams of caffeine a day, all day. And the man is a person who chronically does not sleep, right? So he's sleeping like 2-3 hours a night, pounding 500 plus milligrams of caffeine a day. I mean, listen, man, I take pre-workout every day. I almost drink a Monster every day, and I'm only sitting at like 350 to 400 milligrams. So this guy's drinking more caffeine than me. He's sleeping 3 hours a night. He's over 300 pounds. He's 80 years old. His diet's absolute garbage, but he's the healthiest president we've ever seen. He can barely stand.
I will say that, not to defend Trump's health habits, but I just looked it up. I said, how much caffeine is too much? And it says more than 600 milligrams of caffeine.
For the average person.
Yeah, that's pushing it. Again, he's 80 and overweight.
Yes, that's
so
what
like,
I'm saying.
There's that too.
Well, from what I understand, it's 500 is
and
like,
he's at
that is a safe.
552. If he's drinking 12 of these a day at 46 a pop, that's 552.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Also, 12 cans a day. So 3 cans of Coke, 3 cans of 12 ounces, 1 liter. So it's 3 liters of diet soda a day.
It's 4 liters.
369. Oh yeah, it's 4 liters. It's a gallon. It's over a gallon of diet soda a day.
That's kind of gross, dude.
That your kidneys are like, what the fuck is happening? Like,
yeah,
his kidneys are screaming right now.
There's no, I mean, like, yeah, I would be surprised if he's actually drinking 12 every day. Maybe there are days where he drinks 12. Again, not to like be a Trump apologist,
6 to 12, right? Even like 6 to 12. But still, dude, like Jesus Christ. And it's not just the Diet Coke. Jesus Christ. Let's get off the fucking Diet Coke trend. It's all the things combined together, right? I think that this guy does not have very long. I honestly think we're probably looking like 6 months to a year, right?
You think so?
I almost guarantee it, right? And I'm not a medical professional, but from all the things I've seen, this guy is not going to be alive very long. There's no way. There's no way.
That's an interesting conversation that I think about sometimes. Is that a good thing? Because like Vance, like where you know what I mean? Like what does a Vance presidency look like?
Well, then here we go. Then we get into this. So
because like, then you have an LBJ situation of like, does he run again? Does he win? He would be the presumptive Republican nominee in 2028? Yes. Does he win? Like that changes the landscape.
Yes, but it changes if he does die, right?
If
he does become unalived, I'll have to freaking bleep all this bull crap.
Will we?
Yeah, because you can't say die or kill.
You can't say the word die?
Maybe.
Okay.
If he's unalived by natural causes or whatever the fucking causes are, he will to be taken over by J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance has the charisma of a semen-soaked pillow.
He's the worst.
Right? Nobody likes this guy. The Republicans don't like this guy, right? The whole reason why this whole thing is taking on for so long is the charisma of Trump, right? Mm-hmm. Is the image of Trump.
Yeah, this cult of Trump.
Right?
Yeah.
This cult of Trump. Well, if Trump has a 28% approval rating right now? Something like that. It's in the 20s. And J.D. Vance takes over, dude, that shit's going to plummet under 20% because nobody likes J.D. Vance. How are you going to conduct all this bullshit when you have an under or 20 and under percent rating?
Well, right? I mean, you don't need a high approval rating when you're. I mean, who cares if he's in charge? He's in charge, right? Like he has the rest of the term, which is 3 years.
Yes, but it's kind of hard. Like I said earlier, you need the approval of at least a decent amount of people in the country for the country not to go into automatic civil war. Right. So I honestly think if he does somehow get unalived, that this country has a chance of actually going into a civil war. Right. And that might be our fucking chance for a full on revolution.
That's it.
That might be our chance. That might be. So you got to think on the positive side, glass half full, let the fucker die. Right. Fuck him.
I mean, yeah, whatever.
Let him go. JD Vance is going to be a lot easier.
No, Trump's at 40% currently.
40? No, that's bullshit. Bro.
From August 1st, August 40. The Gallup poll conducted from August 1st, August
really?
20.
I've heard it dropped way lower.
Biden was at 49% for the same time. Trump was at 36.
Trump is at 40, bro. There's no way.
That's what it's the Gallup
I don't believe
poll.
it.
That's the Gallup
but
poll.
he's under a fascistic regime. They're going to be manipulating that shit.
They're cooking those. You think they're cooking those numbers?
Absolutely. And
dude, George H.W. Bush at this time in 1989 was at a 69% approval rating.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh my god. But my whole point is, it's going to be a lot easier taking on JD Vance than it is Donald Trump. It's going to a lot be easier to be getting on those quote unquote moderate Republicans onto like, at least listen, I'm not a fucking Democrat. I've never been a Democrat, nor will I ever be a Democrat, nor will I ever praise Democrats, right? Yeah. Unless they do something like they start pushing for universal health care, I'll be like, this is a good thing. Okay, yeah. Right?
They would, like, we've talked about that before. Like, the Democratic Party have to get, like, real cool about a lot of things real fast.
And they're not.
And they're not gonna.
And they're not going to. And now with Gavin Newsom pushing, God.
Gavin Newsom is being the worst.
God, I fucking hate this fucker. Wait, he's smart, though. He's taking,
he's gonna be he's the Democratic, he's got it locked in, basically.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He's got that shit locked in, because he's, like, getting so much media exposure now. He's starting it so early. He's just harassing Trump on Twitter, which is, like, funny, I guess, but, like, it's still not like what, I don't know. It's like still
it's not what we need. It's not what we need, right? We'd have, like, the only way to save the Democratic Party is if certain characters like AOC and a couple of, like, the progressive Democrats start actually developing a little bit more of a leftist political,
actual class consciousness.
Yeah, a little bit more class consciousness.
No, I mean, like, right? AOC's gone so far the other way. She's gone full, like, Kristen Sinema of, like, she was cool at one point maybe, but is now just a total corporate dim.
She got a mouthful of fucking Nancy Pelosi's giant fake tits. Okay, that is basically what's happened. She has bent the knee to Nancy Pelosi, who's also like 92 and still running and still working in Congress.
Yeah, I was like, Nancy Pelosi died, but that was Dianne Feinstein.
No, that was Dianne Feinstein. No,
is Nancy Pelosi running? No, she's not running again. I thought she announced that she's not running again.
No, that's bullshit. She said that last time too, and she ran.
Oh, that's fair.
She literally said that last. Don't believe these people.
I'm gonna look that up because I thought I heard that, but I've been kind of unplugged recently.
She's like 80 something. She's like in her late 80s, I believe. Right?
Nancy Pelosi? Yeah, she's 85.
She's 85. She's 85 and still running, right?
She was born before Pearl Harbor. That's the metric, dude. She was born before the Japanese had bombed Pearl Harbor in World War I.
Bro, she could. That means if she's born, what year was she born?
1940.
1940. That means she would have been 71. Right? No. 1940. She would have been 61 when 9/11.
Yeah.
That means she could have retired during the beginning of the Iraqi war.
She was only okay, here's another, to put this in World War II perspective. She only missed Hitler's invasion of Poland by 6 months. So, I don't know why that's relevant, but I think that's fun. I think that's funny that she was born 6 months after the invasion of Poland.
In 1960, she was 40 years old. In 1960.
Well, she's 20 in 1960.
Oh, man. Dude, I am now good at math.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. 1980. Sorry.
1980, she was 40.
Jesus Christ. So 1980, she was already 40 years old. She was already...
In 2000, she was 60. Damn. In 2020, she was 80.
She was 55 when I was born, bro.
Yeah.
She was 55 when I was born.
I don't know if she's running again. Let's see.
I'm telling you, she's going to run again. When does it end?
Like, here's the thing, though. Like, all seriousness, like, wouldn't you want to just enjoy your ice cream in your fridge? Remember that ad she had where she just had a fridge full of ice cream?
Oh my God.
And it was like this, they did like a house tour and she just opened a thing and it was just like hundreds, dozens of ice cream pints in her fridge. Anyway, wouldn't you want to just like retire and enjoy what little time you have? Because she's like, I don't think it's incredibly wealthy. So like, she's a millionaire. Just like fucking enjoy your life, dude.
I don't think she has a choice. I think, just like the majority of political parties in this modern day and age, they're all fucking bought and paid for. I think they would be scared that if she retired, somebody more progressive would be running in her, jurisdiction in California, and that they would surpass her and they would implement something that they won't like. So it's better to have this corpse at 85, 86, 80 fucking whatever, 7 years old, representing your politics than have this new bright face. Because the Democratic Party doesn't care about the actual popularity of their party. The Democratic Party cares about making sure and that we instill the modern day politics that are representing these corporations, right? So I don't think she has a choice. I think even if she wanted to, she couldn't, because they know somebody else that's younger and more progressive is going to take over. And of course, if somebody's younger and more progressive, it's not the end all be all to corporations, because we know most of these people that even if they somehow got into a position of power, end up being something like of a SOCDEM, right? They would it's just slightly higher in taxes. Make the billionaires pay more taxes, and not like full-on revolution where we haul these people onto some island and just leave them there.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, here, check this out.
Yeah.
There are 30 House Democrats that are 75 and over. And of those, here's those that have planned to run again. Maxine Waters of California, 86 years old. Rosa DeLauro of Connecticut, 82. John Garamendi, California, 80. Doris Matsui, 80. Bonnie Watson, New Jersey, of 80. Lloyd Doggett, Texas, 78. Marcy Kaptur, Ohio, 78. Jerry Nadler, 77, out of New York. Al Green from Texas is 77, and Benny Thompson out of Mississippi is 70. MISS, that's Mississippi.
Yeah.
77. Zoe Lofgren, who's 77. Kwesi Mfume, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, of Maryland, 76. Richard Neal, Massachusetts, 76. Lois Frankel, Florida, 76. Steve Cohen, Tennessee, 75. And Joyce Beatty, Ohio, 75, are also on the list, but I think they're unconfirmed if they're running. And then David Scott out of Georgia, who's 79. He was ousted as the agriculture over his health. He is running. He was ousted as the agriculture committee ranking member last year over concerns about his health, but he's still running. Dwight Evans, who had a stroke last May, forced him to miss votes for the last of the year. He's still running, even though he had a stroke that kept him out for a year. He's going back. He's going back for a second round. John Larson, who is 76, who froze up during a House floor siege due to a partial seizure, does intend to run for re-election, even though he had a seizure on the House floor. And then Nancy Pelosi, who's 85, has declined to say what she'll do in 26.
That means she's...
Yeah, as 100%. Did former majority Steny Hoyer, 85, Reps Frederick Wilson, Florida, and Alma Adams, North Carolina, all 82 and 78, have all said they're not going to run.
This is old news. This is old news that I'm about to share.
Yeah.
There are whistleblowers from the White House pharmacy that have claimed, and this is years ago, they have claimed that they deliver meds on a monthly basis. Yeah. For people that are in Congress with dementia, with Alzheimer's. They delivered these medications to these politicians.
Yeah, it's not just dementia. It's like it's all manner of meds that are like
we have people that are running our country that are on dementia medication.
Yeah, Dianne Feinstein died in office where she couldn't even speak. She people were raising her hand to vote for her, like a Weekend at Bernie situation, and that's what's gonna happen to these. There are I just listed off 30 people who are like multiples of those people I just listed had strokes and seizures on the House floor and are still running.
And that's my whole thing is you would think these people, it's time to fucking retire. But the problem is they know if they do retire, they'll have more Zohran Mamdanis running for their position, and the corporations can't allow that. I think at the end of the day that these massive corporations and lobbying groups are not going to let them do that. They're going to be there until they died. And it almost seems like what was that justice that old female justice that would not leave the Supreme Court?
RBG, Ruth Bader
Ginsburg. RBJ, RBG? Or was it RBG or RBJ? I can't
remember. What did I say?
RBG.
It was RBG. What did I say?
Yes.
I said RBJ.
I don't know. I heard wrong.
I don't know. RBG. Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Yeah.
Yes. So RBG wouldn't leave, even though it would have been politically correct.
It would have been more politically expedient for her to have retired.
To retire, to then play somebody that's younger, right?
Mm-hmm.
But no,
she waited. She died, and then, or she waited, then retired. Or did she die or retire? I don't remember.
She died.
She died.
That's why Trump was able to replace her. Which is stupid. The Democratic Party is literally either one of the stupidest people.
I just think they're so short-sighted. They're just so short-sighted. It's just about short-term power.
Or it's purposely done that way because it's a two-headed stick.
The opposition, yeah.
And I think it's a mix of all three.
Yeah.
And I think it really depends on the person in the Democratic Party.
What do you call that? Controlled opposition?
Exactly. Yeah. It is a controlled opposition.
Yeah.
She knows damn well that she's about to die. Why not leave? If you for political reasons, if you want this country
leave
to
and then
survive.
Endorse a Democrat, she has power. She's still in Maryland. I forget where she's at nowadays. So I think she's still running in Maryland. She could campaign for somebody, and that's a lot of clout she has. And she could choose somebody who's young and spry and basically groom them to be the next congressperson from Maryland, or where I think she's still in Maryland. Is she still in Maryland?
Who? What are you talking?
Nancy Pelosi.
Oh no, man, Nancy Pelosi's California, is she not?
She's always been from Baltimore.
I know, but is she not a California congressperson? Am I losing my shit? Am I thinking of Dianne Feinstein?
Feinstein was California.
Am I going crazy? Bro, I think I need some dementia meds.
Yeah. No, you're right. She's U.S. House representatives from California.
Okay. I thought I was going crazy, bro.
Did Nancy Pelosi used to be from
I don't know.
Baltimore? I swear Nancy Pelosi was in Baltimore. I'll have to look this up. You keep talking. I'm going to look this up.
But yeah, that's the point, is like the Democratic Party is controlled opposition, right? This is why we have not seen, even inside of Trump's, supposed medical problems, why hasn't the Democratic Party been housing on this? Why have they not been like pounding away at the gavels like, this guy's not fit? You said Biden wasn't fit. What the hell is Trump doing? I mean, like, the dude is literally on infusions on a monthly basis. He's on meds for blood thinners and this and that. But the Republican state media is basically saying this guy's the healthiest president of all time. Turn around and just be like, look, this is all of his records. These are all the meds he's taking. These, like, do you not see what's going on? You should be using this as political propaganda from the Democratic side. But it's, again, any smart person would have been doing this, but they haven't been. So it just tells me, like, you have people that are either 100% controlled opposition, they're super short-sighted, or they simply just don't care, right? So either one of those three, what are we doing? Why are these people not being replaced? And if these people are not being replaced, why are we not starting a new party or ousting the Democratic Party from inside? Oh, wait, we've already tried with people like the Justice Democrats, and look what happened with AOC. Mm-hmm. So this just shows you, like, it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't fucking matter. If we're going to develop into this slow fascistic regime, and we need to develop some sort of class consciousness to either have these Democratic politicians step down, or we're going to step down for them.
Yeah, like, I think that, like, the question has been answered. Like, there is no path where reform works, right? You cannot reform the Democratic Party. No. Like, it's been showed time and time again that, like, they are controlled opposition at best, and they are outright, like, oppositional at worst to, like, any type of, like, leftist or progressive movement.
Yeah, like Zohar Mamdani, like, literally.
Yeah, they're, like, trying all they can to stop these people.
Literally fake propaganda.
Actual Democrats are trying, like, to stop him, right? So, like, registered Democrats, I should say. So, like, yeah, if you think that they're
putting more time and effort in making sure this guy doesn't get elected than fighting back the literal fascistic regime that we have brewing right now.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what's killing me.
Yeah, so it's like, you should realize now, if you're listening to this and you're still on the fence, or you still think that, like, Democratic politics is, like, the lesser of two evils or whatever, like, if you still think that there is a path using democratic politics or electoral politics with these two parties,
democracy is dead.
You're mistaken, bud. Democracy is dead. Democracy's been dead. You're just not realizing it. It's now just very obvious. Like, it's always been this way.
How much more obvious do we have to make it?
But now it's very much apparent. Yeah.
How much more obvious do we have to make it? But speaking of fascistic regimes,
I was going to talk about Nancy Pelosi in Baltimore and why I have that. Why that my brain is broken.
Was she born there?
She was. But it's from The Wire. It's because I've watched The Wire too many times. There's Nancy Pelosi flyers in The Wire.
Okay.
So I think my brain is, like, just recognized those flyers from that show, which you haven't seen. HBO's The Wire. You definitely should. It's great.
You fell into propaganda.
Yeah, but there are Nancy Pelosi flyers, or there's Pelosi flyers in that Baltimore show. So in my head, I just always assumed that she was the representative from Baltimore because that was in, like, the early 2000s. She would have been running at that time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh yeah, sure. But I think it was her parents' posters. Maybe her mother or father.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Okay.
Anyway, that's where I found it. I just was on Reddit and it was like, oh, there's always Nancy Pelosi flyers and the Wire.
When in doubt, Reddit it out.
Reddit it out, dude. Yeah, for sure. Anyway, you were saying fascistic.
Well, speaking of fascistic regimes,
sure.
How about we head over to the other side of the world, where Israel just decided to bomb yet another head of state.
Just assassinate another world leader or another, country leader.
Imagine we're just sitting here, right? You're the fucking head of the German state having a coffee with her family members, and suddenly a fucking drone strike hits the head of the German leadership. The world would be at a dead stop. But because it's a Yemeni And because the Yemeni people who are right now being represented by the Houthis, nobody gives two fucks.
Yeah.
They killed the head of the Iranian government. They killed multiple heads of the Lebanese Hezbollah movement. And now they just struck down another leader of another country.
Mm-hmm.
Of another country. Right? And so the whole thing with the Houthis and the Yemeni government at the current point in time is they are blockading any ships flowing to Israel from the Red Sea in protest of the genocide that is being going on. Right? And so what they did, and I think this has something to do with trying to get people's eyes off of Gaza and onto something else, even if it's a short amount of time, they basically assassinated another head of state.
Yep.
Right? Which on its own is literally a war crime according to the Nuremberg trials, right? You cannot attack another country without it being a completely defensive strike.
Yeah,
they
Ahmad al-Rahawi was his name.
Yes, a complete offensive strike to the people in Yemen. That is absolutely absurd, and I wouldn't be surprised in the coming days if the Yemeni government turn around and be like, this is all out war now.
Well, did you see that the Houthis stormed the UN, 2 UN buildings in
I did not.
In the Yemeni capital in Sana'a, and are like camping out? They've detained all the staff there, and like they have them. It's just like the Iran took in the 79 or whatever
American embassy.
Yeah, they basically just did. Yeah. The Houthi rebels currently hold 2 UN buildings in Sana'a. Sana? I don't know how to pronounce that word. It's the Yemeni capital. The offices, well, see, the problem is they're not like the villains here, the people that they have detained. It's the World Food Program and the United Nations Children's Agency.
What's
UNICEF.
the point, man? What is the UN going to do?
Yeah, so like they've entered by local security forces, yada yada. Staff members saying a member of UNICEF staff members. So like, yeah, the United Nations Special Envoy for Yemen confirmed that at least 11 UN personnel are being detained, adding that he strongly condemns the detentions as well as the forced entry into UN premises. So yeah, Houthis have basically like broken into the UN buildings in Yemen and taken them over. And apparently they still have, this was as of a day ago, so I don't know if they're still like holding these people captive in
What's
these
the point, man?
buildings.
That's just a bad move in my opinion.
I don't think you should.
What's the point of that?
Because these people are also like, these are the people that are giving out food, and like the UNICEF is like helping children's fund. It's just children's fund.
I don't understand the point.
I don't know. That one's not that great, but I normally support the Houthis and kind of what the Houthis are doing, but
no, that's just a bad. I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to get the UN's attention, but the UN never fucking cared. What has the UN done? What did the UN do in any other fucking genocide? Right?
Well, I don't know. I think that's a reason to like attack the UN, as like to call them out of like, your hypocrisy and your inaction has caused this. Therefore, you should be a victim in this as well. Like, I don't have a problem with that. I just like the very specific people they have are
I
are like one of the handful of groups within the UN network that are actually helping people.
No, 100%. I agree. But here's the thing. It's like at this point in time is like, what if Yemen fully goes all out war with Israel? Because any other country that had their prime minister, their president assassinated by another country, that is a call to all out war. I mean, imagine if somebody like, say it's 2009 and Obama gets murked by some drone strike from, I don't know, Venezuela. We would be in Venezuela within 30 minutes. We would have troops down on the ground 30 minutes. So if Yemen decides to go all out war with Israel, the allies of Yemen, allies of the Houthis, is Iran.
Yeah.
It's either they're just trying to distract people, or it could be both, right? Don't get me wrong. They're trying to distract people from the ongoing starvation campaign that they are conducting in Gaza, or they're trying to basically start a world war. Because if Iran gets involved, Hezbollah gets involved, the U.S. is going to get involved. It's an all-out war.
It's another like massive like regional war in the Middle East with all
what else do they have to do? It's not just like a region. This is going to be like honestly a world war, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're including like America and America's allies, depending on how much. I mean, like, I don't know. This is not 2001 to 2005 or whatever, right? I don't see like a world where like France would support troops to like
no,
or England. You know what I mean? Like England and France. And
I think
like,
most countries
and
would
a
say
dozen other countries to varying degrees, committed troops to the original, like,
I think
what is
it'd
it
be
called?
like-
What was it called?
yeah.
Enduring Freedom or whatever. Like the original Iraq and Afghanistan
Yeah.
invasions. There were a lot of British, French, whatever troops
Yeah.
there, right? There was like 14 countries or whatever. I don't think they would do that again. I think like
I don't
France
think
has
so
kind of
either.
eased off it. France has recognized Palestine. England is still kind of like wishy-washy, but like I just don't think that they would commit.
It would be the U.S. But
Yeah,
then-
but that's my point. It would be
but
a bunch
also-
of regional players and the U.S.
Yes.
Is that a world war? I don't know.
it's definitely like a massive regional war.
It depends on
It
like,
has
if
the-
Russia comes in with
yeah.
Iran, if China comes in with
It has the
Iran.
chance to become a
Sure,
world
sure,
war.
sure.
I saw this. I saw the soccer game, this football game. It was in the African Cup, right? So the Africa, just like any other continent has like their biannual cup or every 4 years they'll have their cup for like the Africa or for Europe or whatever. It was like Algeria playing. Was it quarterfinals or semifinal? I can't remember. Anyways, Algeria was playing another country. And the Algerian fans, and the president of Algeria was there. The Algerian fans were basically yelling, it's like, what are you doing? It's like, why are you not helping? It's like, send us into Israel. Like the fans were saying, send us into Israel. Send us into Israel. Like send like the people of Algeria, military soldiers into Israel.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, if something like that happens, what if like a lot of these Arab
Most
countries
of
are like,
North and East Africa would pop off. Yeah.
it's just like, okay, that's enough. Like, dude, I mean, half North Africa pops off, half the Middle East, and that'd be crazy, man. That'd be absolutely crazy. And it's just like, what I can't still figure out what the point to all of that was. What did they solve? Because the prime minister is just going to be replaced by somebody else. They already have,
it wasn't, and we should also say it wasn't just prime minister. It was a handful of.
It was a lot of their cabinet
Yemeni,
members
like
as well.
but Yemeni officials. The Houthis have already struck back. They've blew up an Israel tanker. That was today, I think. Yeah, Houthis fire missile, and then I don't think they blew it up. Houthis fire missile at Israeli-owned tanker after prime minister killed. So this was just this is from this morning from Al Jazeera that they fired back.
I think that's just the beginning to it. I think they're gonna have to if they do something like an all-out war with Israel.
Yeah,
I think it would have to be a lot more planned. They're not gonna just send people in. You know what I mean? It's gonna have to be more strategically planned. They don't have the resources that many countries do, like Iran. So they're gonna have to be very strategic about it. Maybe they're even behind the scenes right now with multiple countries in the Middle East planning on a full-on attack. I just don't understand what was the point to this. Like, why would you do that? Why would you incite so much violence? And there's only two things, again, what I can come to the point of like thinking could even be a viable option is just one, you're just trying to get people's gazes off of Gaza.
I think that's probably the biggest reason.
Yeah, it has to be, man.
Also, Netanyahu quoted something like, this is what you get for being like an enemy of Israel or something like that. I'm misquoting him, but it was something to that effect of like, it was very much targeted, like just,
It's like, Jesus Christ, man. It's like, how far does this have to go? And it just shows like history repeats itself, whether it be Rwanda, whether it be Bosnia, whether it be World War II, just the united community of the world doesn't do shit due to fucking politics. And the politics are controlled by the narratives of these Western countries, aka right now, really just the US at this point. Because even a lot of countries like France, Spain are just absolutely like completely, I think, blocked off trading with Israel. A lot of countries have completely blocked off.
Or they're in some on that spectrum somewhere like starting that process of like kind of.
I know a lot of countries have blocked off trading with the West Bank. Period.
Yeah. Well, that's what
illegal settlements.
That's what originally. That's what ended apartheid, right? It wasn't like a call for humanity. It was ultimately economic strangulation. It was embargoes and boycotts.
This is bigger than the South African apartheid, though.
Well, no, this is yes, but I'm saying bigger. But that's what ultimately stopped it was economics. It wasn't like there wasn't ethical or moral, and that's sad to say, but like people didn't give a shit about like racism because it was the 80s and the 90s and like whatever. There's black people in South Africa. But what ultimately stopped South Africa and what ultimately rewrote the laws in South Africa and what changed things was economic strangulation.
Absolutely.
Once enough countries divested and stopped trading and put up trade embargoes with South Africa, then they were forced to.
Absolutely.
So that's like,
but
history shows us what they're required here.
Then there's like two things. One, the U.S. is never going to stop.
Fair enough.
The U.S. is never going to stop actually trading with Israel.
Yeah.
So they're going to get things, whatever Israel needs from other countries, and then they're going to ship it to Israel.
With their buzz buddy Trump, right? Like
exactly.
So long as Trump is in office, Netanyahu.
But we can see North Korea survived, Cuba survived, Venezuela with all these sanctions was doing okay, right? So there's the ways to get around it.
Sure.
The problem is the U.S. supporting Israel.
Yeah.
If that stops, It's over, bro. It's Jover. There's no way this is going to continue on.
It's all over now.
It's going to be over. But that's never going to happen. I was like, how do we get this shit to stop? How do we get to the U.S.? And that's just not going to happen, right? Unless the U.S. government itself breaks down, ends up in a civil war or something like that.
Yeah, like unless we're so distracted. Did you see the movie Civil War?
It's just called Civil War.
It's just called Civil War. Came out a couple years ago.
I don't think so. No.
It's good.
Yeah? What's it about?
It's about the U.S. Civil War. It's good. It's an A24 movie. It's really great. It came out a couple years ago, or maybe last year even. It's really cool. It's just like it doesn't really give you any backstory. It's just about a photojournalist traveling across the country. She's trying to get from like, I forget where she's trying to go. She's trying to go from like New York to D.C. or something, or maybe long. I forget where she's trying to go. Oh no, she's trying to get to D.C. because the president's going to surrender. Who's Nick Offerman is the president.
Yeah,
and he's like the villain, but he's not really in it. And it's Kristen Dunst is the photojournalist, and like it's basically just them trying to cross through like war-torn America. There's 3 different factions. It's like the Republic of California and Texas have teamed up, and then it's like the North.
Oh, okay, so it's not like
no. Based? It's like very much like.
Is it like supposed to be in modern?
No. It's a modern.
Times?
No, it's like
okay.
It's just like it doesn't really explain how or why it started, but it's basically just like a modern civil war is broken out. And for whatever reason, California and Texas have seceded and they've joined forces.
Oh yeah.
And now there's like the Florida Association, so it's just like Florida's trying to do its own thing, and then there's like
I don't see Texas or Florida doing that.
Well, that's the thing.
I see
like
California.
It's very like
they don't need anybody
hypothetical.
Else. Right? They don't need anybody else.
But it's like a really like dark and like weird movie, and it's just like we should check it out. It's really good. It's fucked up.
I think Washington should just secede and go into what's it called, Canada, and just join Canada.
What was that called? Cascadia.
Well, Cascadia is like the idea of Washington State, Oregon,
and Northern California,
and British Columbia.
Oh, okay.
And the Northern California.
Yeah.
People in Northern California wouldn't want that because they want their own state called Jefferson, and they're a bunch of Republicans.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So no, I'm thinking just Western Washington breaks off and joins Canada.
Well, let's talk about one more thing and then close this out, which is the like famine in Gaza has now reached, and we haven't talked about Gaza for a little while. Like we haven't really given like much like deep dive update, but we talked a few months ago about how the summer would be like the break point of it was speculated at the time, and this was maybe like last winter or like early this year even, but it was speculated that around the summer, I think it was July, August would be like that would be the break point for like the famine in Gaza.
Yeah.
Well, and as of August 22nd, it's officially like the UN has officially declared
a full-on
famine in Gaza. Now it's estimated that 500,000 ish people, more than half a million people are like have reached famine level, which there's like an actual definition to that. But like the famine has taken hold in Gaza, encompassing Gaza City, nearby areas. So like it has now been like officially announced that like there are. Like it's the deaths are now going because that's what kills people, right?
It's so
in genocides,
sad,
that's where like the bulk of deaths come from, and even in like from tanky perspectives of like Mao's Cultural Revolution or like the Holodomor, like Stalin, whatever. Like it's in India, in any example, right? It's famine that really ramps the death count up, and that's
exactly.
I think because like what 10% ish of Gazans have died. There's approximately 2 million population. It's estimated.
So if 10% of the thing about that, if there's 10% of 2 million people that die, it's 200,000. And
that's what
people.
that's what some people are estimating the death toll is at, like give or take, right? Because some people are saying 50,000, but that number's been 50,000 for a year.
No, that's bullshit.
Obviously, that's bullshit.
No, that's 100%
real people
bullshit.
real numbers are saying it's probably closer to around 200,000, which is just 10% of the Gazan population has been murdered or killed, right? Well, now you have what remains of that is 25% of the original population, which is closer to like 33% of the remaining population, is now post-starvation, is now past the starvation point. So you now have a third of the surviving population, give or take, has now reached famine
Somebody
levels.
has to fucking pay for this shit, bro.
Yeah, and so like this is the extermination of an entire people. It's like it's what Hitler wanted with the Jews, but is now like actually happening because like there's nobody intervening.
Yeah, Hitler sped the fucking process up though. He just like,
yeah. I mean, obviously it's not a 1-for-1 comparison.
But this is their way of doing it. This is their way of doing it without being like we're just actively like just murking people. It's just like no, black out all media in Gaza, black out all information coming out of Gaza, and just starve them to death.
But not for nothing. If you know your history, it followed this exact same trend: individual killings. And then that was too slow. So then the Nazi Party of the Third Reich tried starvation, like walling off ghettos and just trying starvation. That moved too slow. And then their third phase was then death camps, like the concentration camps and death camps. So like it's following the same trend.
It is.
Individual bombings and shootings, then starvation.
It is.
And then once that moves too slow to get rid of the population, you then have to ramp that up to move to death camps. And that was the path. That was the exact playbook that Hitler used. And it's so far we're at the same stage 2 of 3 that Gaza is dealing with.
It's 2025 people. Like what are we doing?
Yeah.
What is this? It's like, it's disgusting. Right? I just like, how is nobody's blood boiling? Like I'm like, if we didn't have the government tracking every move.
Yeah.
Right. I would just like, what I would be saying is a little different than I'm always saying on the podcast. I have a bit more even revolutionary and radical things than I say on the podcast because we have to shut the fuck up because
we got our TikTok live got taken down.
Yeah, I mean,
calling Trump a
Well, no, we didn't. We were just talking like we normally talk.
Right, but I'm saying if we said the things that we're in our actual hearts, we would be arrested. So we can't really do that. I don't know. I didn't want to bring it down to like a sad level, but I just wanted to call that out.
It's realistic, man. We have to be real.
But I will say that like the bright side of that is, which obviously doesn't help any, but I think it was like Pokepreet shared on his channel. I think it was, or somebody on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok shared that like the amount of money raised by PCRF, the Palestinians Children Relief Fund. Broke like a huge milestone, like broke like a couple $1 million or something raised for PCR. I forget the actual number, but it was a big milestone. So like that was cool to see, but obviously it's not enough, right? So this is just another call to arms. We have the PCRF website in our bio as well. Yeah. Please donate, give something to the
maybe
starving.
Yemen just needs to like go like
yeah, I mean they invaded Iraq in the first Gulf War because of what Hussein did to Kuwait, right?
Yeah.
This is worse than that. So, like, where's the invasion now? Like, where's the coalition forces?
Oh, it doesn't help their fucking.
There's no oil, I guess. Yeah, but
it doesn't help their back end.
Yeah,
and a lot of the stuff with Saddam Hussein was half bullshit and half real. You know,
right?
Yes,
but
he was a ruthless fucking human being that was killing people.
Yeah, like, but
right?
like actual people.
But they don't care about that. They don't care about brown people killing brown people. What they care about is resources, right?
Yeah,
and so
maybe that's what it was.
Excuses.
This is white people killing brown people, so they don't care.
No, absolutely not. Yeah. Exactly. So it's the same thing. White, brown blood. That's not the problem. Who cares? Bunch of brown
on brown, we can intervene.
Like
brown on white, we can intervene. But white on brown, don't got a frown.
Yeah, exactly.
Brown on brown, no. I can't think of a rhyme, but yeah, I don't know. Doesn't matter. The point is, it's fucked. It's super fucked. And I wanted to just. I would be remiss if I didn't mention like kind of the deteriorating situation, and this winter is supposedly going to be the worst it's seen. Obviously, every next season is always going to be the worst it's seen. But they're saying specifically because of the famine combined with winter brings disease, and that's like respiratory outbreaks, flu, the influenza. It could because when you're malnourished, your immune system is shot. It's very weak. So the flu and diseases and just different kind of respiratory infections and influenza and stuff is going to just rampage through these refugee areas and through these places in Gaza. So that number is going to skyrocket in terms of deaths because of the famine. So, but I mean, yeah, the official count is still like at 54,000 or something, and it's been stuck at there since like literally like last October. It's been almost a year, I think, of like 54,000. So obviously that's
54,000. Yeah. That's bullshit, and you know damn well it's bullshit. Every single day.
I'm gonna check it out with
TikTok,
the official death toll.
Instagram, Twitter, whatever you open, you see people literally like skin and bones.
As of September 1st, today, they report 63,000. But that's just...
Oh, man, there is way more than that. It's minimum 150 to 200,000.
That must just be only like military casualties, like actual deaths attributed to bombing and
like strikes and
bullets.
And
stuff. Not disease
but we all know that, like, especially in most historical warfare moments, most people died from disease.
Yeah,
like World War I.
Yeah, famine and disease is what, like, even in, like, up to and including like Vietnam, I think like malaria killed more.
Malaria
I'll
killed
have to double check that fact. I'm not 100% sure that's true.
But yeah, man, the famine and the diseases and just malnourishment with your immune system dropping and especially when you're basically in a fucking locked cage like Gaza is, when somebody catches something, it starts spreading like a wildfire. And if all their immune systems are down because they're all malnourished and basically starving, they're going to drop like fucking hotcakes. So, Jesus Christ. Like, I hate that term, but like, that's basically what's going to happen. We're going to hit a certain point, probably sometime November, late November. And there's just going to be so many people catching, whether it be COVID, the flu, and people are just going to start dying at high rates. And there needs to be something to stop this, because if this continues on, I mean, here's the last thing that I want to talk about before we head out. There's been news not only from that recently, but like from a while ago, that Trump was talking about basically developing high resort AI facilities and casinos and stuff in Gaza. And he's talking about basically manually and forcefully evicting people to move out of Gaza. So he can place all these things. And if they don't want to move, they'll be concentrated into certain sectors where they don't have the option of basically leaving, aka in a concentration camp, as if Gaza already isn't like one large concentration camp. And that they're going to basically forcefully evict people out. And that's what we call ethnic cleansing.
Literally the definition.
That is literally the definition of ethnic cleansing. And the president of the United States openly said it, laughing, that they're going to build high quality resort casinos and shit.
It's just insane.
Where Gaza is. My blood fucking boils, not only for what they're doing to people, but because of my past history of my people. And it makes me sit here and I'm like, dude, where are these people that are like, just, I don't want to get fucking banned off this goddamn platform.
Bleep, bleep, bleep. Where are the bleep, bleep, bleep?
Yeah. Oh my God, bro.
Assalamu alaikum, friend. Anyway, go ahead and, speaking of Patreon, go ahead and find us over there. Revolutionary Rhetoric, wherever you get your socials. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Revolutionary Rhetoric. revolutionaryrhetoric@gmail.com if you want to send us an email. We are setting up that P.O. box. I promise I will have it this week at the latest. I'll have it all finalized, so we'll get you those patches ASAP.
Bro, we're totally
join our Discord.
Arrested.
That's fine. Who cares? Michael Parenti got arrested for protesting the Vietnam War. I would be honored to be arrested for the things I've said, because nothing I've said is untrue, or nothing I've said I don't believe in. So like, fuck it.
I agree with you.
Right? Fuck it. God. Anyway, what did I say? Discord, Patreon, our socials, send us an email. Leave us a 5-star review. If you're watching this on YouTube, hey, hello, thank you so much. Weird to watch just two guys talk in a basement for an hour, but whatever you're into, I guess. We do have an audio version of this. If you're listening to this on the audio version and you want to watch two guys talk in a basement for an hour, head on over to YouTube. All the links are in the description. Once again, Palestinian Children's Relief Fund. That link is big and bolded in the description. Before you do anything, go over on there. Help out, do whatever.
Speaking of the audio version, if you are listening to this on the audio version, please help a brother or two out and give us a rating, whatever you believe that we should get.
But you should believe 5 though.
You should put 5. It helps out. That's the way.
Yeah, that's the liking and sharing and commenting of the podcast apps is leaving reviews, and just leave us a 5-star review and then go ahead and type it in there.
If you are listening to this on YouTube and you really want to help out, go on to Spotify, Apple,
Stitcher,
Apple Podcasts,
whatever you
and
use,
go watch 10 minutes of 10 minutes of our podcast, and then just give us a rating, because you have to watch like a little bit of it.
Yeah, you got to
give us a rating,
bit, yeah.
And please, that really help us out here.
Anything else? I think that's it.
Yeah, we'll have our next podcast will hopefully be with old guest Pokepree.
Yeah, we're bringing Pokepree back.
We want to talk about the
Indian Communist Party, right?
Yeah,
I know nothing about the Indian Communist Party.
I don't either.
I'm really looking forward to this.
And then I have one more person on.
One more guest right after that.
Waiting, and we have a lot of guests we can call back. But
we're building a stable of guests that we can just kind of reach out to, which is nice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cool
Crew. All right. We love you all very much. Have a great night. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.